Hey, it's Case from Throw Controllers, and this is my first glance at the horror survivor game, White Knight from Osome Studio. White Knight is touted to be an old-school survivor horror game with a touch of French noir. Osome Studios pulls a lot of noir elements into the White Knight by simply placing you in the 1940s with a black and white setting. This is the biggest thing that stands out about the game as soon as you flip it on. With only the black and white colors to play with, they really had to place creative design in the game that pulls the player into the noir hell they're about to experience, and it has paid off. The White Knight starts off with the main character driving down a dark and spooky night road. Did I mention this is a noir? When out of nowhere, a woman appears in the street, causing you to swerve into a tree. Finding no body and only a dark, empty house nearby, you make the great decision of breaking into this house and figure out what has just happened, and where the woman may have gone, and maybe to find a phone. This logic really makes no sense. Why would you break into the home just because you wrecked your car in front of it? I guess if it made sense, there would be no story because you would never enter the spooky house. So I guess it's kind of good that the protagonist isn't that smart. So White Knight finds you controlling the main character in a third-person static camera view, like most old-school horror games like Alone in the Dark and others. What I've seen so far, the camera work isn't poorly done, but you still run into those issues where the game suddenly switches between two static views, messing with your controls. This has always been an issue with most classic horror games that use static cameras, and perhaps White Knight revisiting it was not the best idea. Once you get around the static camera control system, you basically move around the map looking for clues about what happened in this random house you broke into, avoiding ghosts that are haunting it, and using the power of electric light to destroy said ghosts. Most of the story gets revealed via diary entries, newspaper articles, and other items you discover throughout the game. You discover these items by wandering around the house solving random light puzzles, which usually has you using the limited amount of matches you find around the house. The reason you need to get these matches is because if you stay in the dark too long, you'll get randomly killed by the evil darkness in the house. And I do mean random. Sometimes it takes a few minutes of standing in the darkness to trigger the death. Other times it can be moments. This really begins to drive you crazy because you cannot judge when it is safe and when it isn't. You just have to go with your gut and push forward. I want to come back to the matches. The effect on the lighting that the matches give to the game really draws you in, and it really kicks ass in this white and black color scheme. But the problem is, when I first started playing the game, I didn't even know that the matches was a limited resource, so I would constantly use them just to cross small patches of darkness or to search a small, tiny, dark corner. And now that I know that they're a limited resource, I feel that I might have to restart the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand why a survival horror game needs to have some kind of limited resource. But can you at least inform me which resource that's going to be? I mean, hell, when you're dealing with matches and darkness, most humans know how to make fire out of other things. For example, I started a fire in a fireplace. Why can't I carry a log around like a torch and light my way so I don't die by these ghosts? Anyhow, I think it was just a bad design choice just to give me matches and say, hey, start using these to explore, and not allow me to realize that these are something I have to take special care of. Of course, maybe the main character is just an idiot. I mean, he did just break into a house for no apparent reason. Overall, the game atmosphere is what's drawn me back to the game. The black and white color schemes and the noir storytelling really wants me to move on further in the game. But because of the way I've managed my own matches and the fact that I didn't know they're a limited resource, I don't know if I have it in me to restart this game. It was a good game, but the simplistic puzzles, the bumpy dialogue might not capture your mind for that long. So play it for a few hours and move on. White Knight is a decent game, but it's not a must-play game. If you have something else on your list, go to that. Or if you're a fan of survival horror noir, it's actually kind of nice to check it out. This has been Case from Throw Controllers. To hear more first glances, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or check out our podcast at throwcrows.com. Peace.